And I regard you guys as being an extension of my family. You're part of my Lego family. I reckon I could fill out a store with Lego, with my backlog. I think...
I'm in the same boat. I totally understand.
It's ridiculous.
It's bad.
London calling takes a lot of effort. That is...
And you're still doing it.
And I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Like 228 in. Every Friday for 4.5 years.
How many times did you call off?
But you got pride in what you do.
Of course.
So this is going to sound great.
Oh, I hope so.
The noose around my neck for my channel is my city. It's Legondon. Everyone
Never
knows.
gonna see that. 2027 is probably what's going to be released.
Should I just like wind it down a little bit? And this was around the time that you had wound down Cali Brickworld, which, by the way, I rewound that like 5 times because that came out of the blue. That was like
that slapped everyone in the face. Realistically, let's play an exercise. If I were to disappear as far as content creation after a month of not hearing from me, who would you reach out to? It's me trying to explain why the veteran community is an important one in the Lego space.
Cali Brickworld, SOS. These are really good advice shows, whether you're into Lego or you're just a general content creator. To be honest.
I'll just keep talking about that. Audio, sound. We're good. Where's my coffee?
Come along with shy, just take this ride to the coffee time is every time I sign it.
We've begun. How's it going, Greg? Welcome to the States. You should just move to the States. Your family's here already.
That is true, actually. I mean, to be honest, it would be quite an easy move. I'd say probably a good 90% of my family are here. Everybody else, just a few of us, we're in Britain. We're kind of the English arm.
Does your brother sound American?
No.
No, he still has.
No, he makes a point of sounding very English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just got to think about American women. His first wife was American. She was from Florida. Dervila, lovely lady, she was, and his second wife is also from America. She's from Boston, which is where they now.
Where they are. Okay.
So they did a deal. He was going to bring up his kids over in just outside London, and then once they grew up, he got to about 20, his son, and they were like, right, we'll move over to the States now. So it was kind of like a little deal that they had.
He prefers the States?
I think he's still acclimatizing to it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Don't get me wrong, he loves America.
Yeah.
He's been coming to America since he was a kid.
Oh, okay.
He has. The original part of my family were my mum's sisters. She's got like 5 sisters. Her and the oldest sister went over to England. They were all based in Ireland a long time ago. My mum's 80 now, actually. And
wait, so you're Irish?
We come from Irish heritage, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, McDermott's is kind of where it all originally comes from.
Okay.
That's not my surname now, but various
don't
family
yourself.
lines later. I can't do that. So yeah, and they, but the other 4, they all moved over to America, and they kind of spread like rabbits. They did. So we got a massive part of our family. Most of my family I've never actually met, which sounds really sad. Yeah.
No, I get that. I totally understand. I'm in the same boat.
They were a long way away.
Yeah.
I'm going to see my brother, which was really weird because when my brother first moved over here, which was just around 2019, so pre-pandemic, he moved over, and it was like a really big thing. He moved over. Well, within 2 weeks, he was back over because he was going to a family wedding, and that was the last time I saw him. So I haven't seen him for like 6 years, and it's all been a kind of a thing on WhatsApp and stuff like that. We've got this chat which is called Crazy Family, and we all sort of pile into it. And I'm kind of glad we have it, but I kind of miss him just being around the corner as well. Because when I was growing up, to a certain degree, he was like my dad, and I kind of miss that. He was always a bit more than a brother. I mean, don't get me wrong, he annoys me like a brother does, and our middle brother just annoys both of us.
You're the middle child?
No, I'm the youngest.
Oh.
I'm also the bloody shortest as well, annoyingly.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 6 foot, and I look like a diddy 6 foot as well for some reason.
So what are they, 6'7", 6'5"?
Well, eldest brother is 6'4",
Okay.
and middle brother is 6'8". So I'm like, I stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Like I really do. I think by nature as well, I'm quite different to what they are. Like they kind of laugh when they know that I'm kind of into Lego, and I laugh because they're into fishing.
What's wrong with fishing?
Nothing's wrong with fishing, but I don't know. Fishing, Lego. I mean, you can't do 2 things, can you? Can you do? You could do sports, but I mean,
Fishing's a sport.
Yeah, it is, but it's kind of like
it's a necessity.
It is, but that's like saying chess is a sport, isn't it?
I got no quip. I was gonna say something dumb, but I didn't say it.
Checkmate.
Good one. No. I totally understand. The family dynamic that you have, I don't share with my family at all. But I do resonate with having family scattered all over the world. I have 2 half brothers, 2 half sisters. 2 of them are on my mom's side, and they're in Asia somewhere. One's in China, one's in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I think actually they're both back in the Philippines now. But they've created their own lives and they're good. My family's really well off over there. So why? And my mom decided to come to the United States, wanting to bring her kids over. But, since she's coming here by herself with like nothing, right? She kind of started all over.
That's tough.
I know. I don't know what the real family drama was behind that. She was very much a rebel in her family.
Yeah.
So the kids stayed over there because my grandmother wanted them to stay and get educated over there since they're really well off. So they stayed there and they made their own lives. Here, my mom and my dad had me, but my dad had already had a son and a daughter as well over here.
Okay.
2 different women. So 3 different kids, 3 different chicks. I was with my sister a lot when I was younger, but after a certain point, I never saw her again.
Oh.
I have no idea where she is.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her since I was like 4 or 3. No contact whatsoever. So I have no idea what's going on with her.
Yeah.
And then my brother, we recently connected.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be close. We're trying to catch up. Our wives are friends. Our kids love each other. I try to buy them Lego all the time.
But it is an extension of your family, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, I think that's quite an important thing to be, even if it's not like necessarily a blood relative. Family's just all about being familiar with people. Like, and I regard you guys as being an extension of my family. You're part of my Lego family.
That's why I say "What up, fam" in every video.
You do every time you come into my chat.
Yep. What up, fam?
What up, fam? I used to think, what does that mean?
Well, for me, for my entire life, it's just been me and my mom. My dad's in hit or miss, but for most parts, me and my mom. We didn't really have anybody else. And every time we went to a Christmas party or a holiday party or a birthday, whatever, it's just friends. Yeah. Right. And we've come to. And there's a couple families out there that I've kind of grown up with, and I consider them actual cousins, but they're not. Yeah. But in my eyes, like when I had my wedding, right, we only had 10 family members there.
I was going to say,
and the 200 and other people were friends. Yeah. So I find what makes family is not blood. No, it's loyalty. Loyalty's fam. Blood makes.
Have you always had that, or did you have that because you was in the army?
No, I've always had that. Yeah. So I trust, like my friend, like some of my best friends, their parents, more than I trust my aunts and uncles. Yeah, because I don't know my aunts and uncles. Like, I don't know what makes you tick. Like, I don't know what makes you cry. I don't know what you've been through. But these people I do. Yeah, and they're not my blood. Yeah, but I'm more closer and rather be with them than my own family.
And you want to be more emotionally aware of them as well.
Exactly. And I'm, in this beautiful space that you found yourself in, and you can see it downstairs. Okay, we're in Brickworld right now. At the time of this recording, what's it like for you?
It really is a who's who of the Lego sphere on every single platform. This is the one-stop shop of being at a Lego convention. I've been to a couple of big Lego conventions before. I mean, the biggest one I've been to this is Bricktastic in Manchester, which is about 500 miles or 200 miles actually from London. That's about a 5-hour drive. That is one of the biggest ones in Europe. I think it's the biggest one in Europe. Okay. This is obviously the biggest one in America. It's the biggest one in the world. But it's just really nice to see people that I've known for years. We've known each other for a long time. I think that's probably got to be around 4 years or something like that.
Oh, definitely,
5 years.
Yes.
Like I've been going now for about 5 years. So, I was in my mid-40s when I kicked off, and so did Hive. And we kicked off literally days within each other. And I'm still here, still doing my thing. And I'm still doing it for fun as well, which is, it does strike me sometimes as a bit bizarre. I mean, I've kind of enjoyed it for this amount of time. Yeah. Because financially, it's a nightmare. Like because I monetized a couple of years ago, but now I'm kind of making money from it. We're not talking lots here, maybe a couple of thousand a year. Yeah. It's a little bit. It pays for a set a month or something like that.
Barely.
But when you I mean, we're talking.
Yeah, nowadays it pays for anything.
Yeah. You'll get a decent friend set out of it on discount at Amazon. But yeah, when you go through your tax returns and stuff like that, and you'll see it's just like, my God, I spent that amount of money on it. And then I thought, oh, I had some fun with it though. So I don't mind. I don't begrudge it. This is the thing. I go on feeling rather than anything else. I'm quite impulsive as well. And like all AFOLs, when it comes to buying a set or something like that, you have this strange delusional way of justifying buying a set.
That's true. We'll find a reason to buy it and justify why we bought it.
Yeah.
For example, when I bought the Market Street, everyone hates it. I hated it too. But I've tried to make everybody believe that it's an actual modular.
Well, the thing, I mean, that is something I do wonder. I mean, should I actually just try buying a set that I absolutely do not want? I don't want to like it, and then review it, and then kind of get a sense from it. I don't know. It's almost like doing. I mean, we're always kind of looking to do something slightly different to everybody else, aren't we?
Yeah.
And no one ever reviews a set that they don't want. No one ever buys a set that they don't really want. And I often think, often these days anyway, just as a sort of thing to do something that's slightly different to what other people are doing, is just, I'll ask someone, I don't know, maybe I could give myself a limit of like £50 or something like that. And I'll say to someone, buy me a set that you think I absolutely will not like. I'll buy it and then I'll review it. And then, I don't know.
I don't know. It depends on the set.
Has anyone ever done that?
If you started off that way, you have to kind of show it where you didn't choose the set. Like, that I think as long as you
I don't know, do some lottery wheels or something like that.
Yeah, as long as there's something, some sort of gimmick or some sort of activity where it shows that you did not choose this set, I think you can get away with it. The things we're reviewing, it's like no one's gonna watch the same review set that 50 other people have already done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So the review game is very limited as far as how long the set's gonna be. You know, people are going to care.
Yeah.
Right? Because people just want to see the videos that come out first. So reviews like who's first gets it. You would have to go so far out there, like Josh.
Yeah.
Josh is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
To be able to make an uninteresting set interesting.
Yeah.
So as long as you played in that aspect, sure, go ahead and review it. Yeah. But if you're just going to do a basic review with this is blah, 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 it does blah, blah, blah. I like it, blah, blah, blah. I don't like it, blah, blah, blah.
I know.
No one's going to care.
No one cares. You have to but that's where your personality comes out on it. That's everyone's different. I mean, look, we get on really well, right? Regarding as family, but we're two very different people from different continents, everything. But you got kind of got this rich history behind each other. And I don't know. So here's the thing, right? I mean, I don't know how I used to do this. So I used to do this thing called popping poly bags. I'd take a poly bag and somehow or other, those reviews, I used to string them out to about 5.5 minutes. I don't know how I did it. I just did. And I'd like to go back to doing that because I think that would work in actually quite a good short form content.
Sure.
But it's nice to sort of evolve things with shorts and stuff like that. It's a bit like at the moment, I'm kind of halfway through it because I just haven't had the time.
Stickering your...
Oh, dude. Yeah. Well, here we go. Let me hold that thought just there, Shai, because so I'm building Ninjago City at the moment. I've never seen anyone build this live. Never in my life. Right.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And I've been holding on.
I don't think we were really there when Ninjago City first came out.
No, Ninjago City came out in like 2017, something like that.
At least we weren't filming it. We weren't filming that.
No.
Yet.
We were definitely doing reviews of it and stuff like that, but we certainly wasn't doing the live streams that we do today. I mean, live streams have really,
back then it was even it was like Google Meets, not Google Meets. It was
Google Horizon.
Google Hangouts.
Google Hangouts. That was it. Yeah.
That's what it was.
God, that was fun and games back in those days.
Rip.
But yeah, I thought to myself, do you know what? I've been collecting Lego for so long. I'm not joking. I reckon I could fill out a store with Lego with my backlog. I think
I'm in the same boat. I totally understand.
It's ridiculous.
It's bad.
It's really, and I look at it and I look at what I've bought in May. I look at what I've bought in June, and I've got to catalog those and put them away and put them down in the vaults. But I look at that and I think, no, I'm going to make a point of reviewing them or doing something with them. Now June the 1st, it was like just about 10 days ago or something like that.
At the point of this recording, yes.
Yeah, I lose track of time when it comes to having holiday as well. And here's the thing. So throughout May and June, I've literally been home for 8 days. 5 of those days have been Fridays when I've done London calling, right? So I don't feel like I've done anything else. So going back to the sticker thing, my technique with the applying stickers, I did it once, right? And that video did really well on YouTube. Then I put it on Instagram. I think he had something like 800,000 views. And I was like, I didn't actually do that much work to get that much back on it.
Doesn't that suck?
Yeah, it really does.
I hate that.
And now, every set I get, I'm just doing that. So roughly every Thursday, I'll release one. Now, quite often.
But your nails are dirty sometimes.
No, not all the time. No, I like it.
Shot Thomas.
Yeah, I've had parodies that have been done very well. pretty good anyway.
It took me a minute to figure that out. I'm like, what is tech doing? I'm like, why is it? I mean, once you started putting them all jacked up, I was like, is this alluding to something that I should already know? And then I put it together after like the 5th video.
Yeah. But the thing is that the sheer fact that tech is kind of semi-trolling me on that. I don't mind because it shows I'm doing something well. Because someone else has done parodies on that as well. And I'm thinking, right, this is either annoying people or I'm doing something right that they feel like they want to do a parody on it anyway. So, you know, if you've got time in your life to take some time out to do that, I'm all in on it as well. And I don't mind tech doing it anyway.
No,
it was
funny.
good fun.
Yeah,
like
funny.
It was so bad, it's funny. And that's
that
what's
was
so
it.
brilliant
It
about
just took me a second to figure it out. I'm like, why is he purposely jacking this up? It's giving me anxiety.
No, it's brilliant. But yeah, so London Calling takes a lot of effort. That is,
and you're still doing it.
And I'm still doing it.
Yeah,
like 228 in
every
Friday for 4.5 years.
How many times did you call off?
I've missed 2, but they've still run.
Yeah, no, they're still going.
Yeah,
but you're just not there.
2. One, I had COVID, and Craig and Brickworld jumped in, and then the second one, which was last year, I was in Spain, and the Brickworlds did it, and this year as well. No, it was it. Yeah, it was my 50th birthday, which happened to fall on a Friday. And my wife wanted to take me out for well, it was a surprise weekend away. So, and she said, you cannot do that one. So I'm like, okay, the Brickworlds will cover me, and so will Gaz, the minifig Who. And there's going to be one more this year as well. And I can't do it on that particular Friday. I'm going to be in Turkey.
I'm not going to be able to
I can't do
that. No. Yeah. But so yes, going back to it, at the time of this recording, we're at Brickworld, and you kind of mentioned that, like, you know, it's the who's who of who's here, and it's only the second day, first actual day of Brickworld. Your second day here, like, what did you do since you've been here?
I got stuck in a traffic jam going to Chicago. The driver of said taxi, being Moto from season 2 of Lego Masters. I mean, how bizarre is that? I mean, it is quite random.
That was so random. I did not know that he did that for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't know. I actually didn't know until 10 minutes before we went out that he was even going to be taking us, because us and a few people were just going to jump in an Uber, go into Chicago,
walk around?
Yeah, do some stuff, get a sore neck looking up at all the tall buildings, and then come back again. Moto was here, and he says, well, do you want to hang out with me and I'll drive you there? So we're like, yeah, definitely. So we're stuck in a traffic jam, and I thought, might as well ask some questions. So we kind of delved in a little bit quite deep.
Moto, you interviewed Moto while I was driving?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So it was, but again, quite random, but why not? You know,
yes, why not?
When am I ever going to get a chance to do that ever again?
No. Is coming to Brickworld stuff you want to do more often?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, this is like the one to come to.
If you only choose one, yeah.
Yeah, if I could, I love Bricktastic in Manchester. That is without doubt.
I mean, you're 200 miles away. It's totally easy.
Yeah.
Drive.
Yeah, 5 hours. I'm there. You know, and here, well, it's 7.5 hour flight, and we're looking at about £2,000. So with the flights, the room, there's a big outlay before you can go. That's why I'm not really too fussed about buying some grandiose set or anything like that. I just want to see the people, get to know the people even deeper, on kind of more. I know this is going to sound a bit daft, but on a more of an emotional,
more
level,
intimately. Like, you want to see you don't want to have this facade of what we want to project ourselves over the screen, because you know, you get it from London Calling. I've gotten it from Cali Brick Click, and we've seen a lot of other shows that, you know, or even when we're hanging out, just, you know, with no audience, there's still a screen, right? You're limited to what you can see within this box, right? If I step to the left of this box, you don't know why I stepped to the left of this box. You don't know, like, I could be giving you a face right now, but really I'm hurting inside, or vice versa. So because you're able to have a real conversation where there's no editing, there's no pause, it's a genuine conversation in real life. Yeah. It's a different experience.
It does. It takes it to a new level. The relationship-wise, it takes it to a new level. And you're seeing people outside, because this is the weird thing. It's almost like you're seeing everyone outside of their natural habitat, and you're seeing them for how they really are in a kind of cold light of day, albeit it is kind of in its own sort of wibbly-wobbly world at the same time, being Lego.
Yeah.
But I think with Lego and the AFOL community, there are so many layers to being an AFOL. I mean, you got people that come up with great videos that don't even buy any Lego.
Sure, yeah, that's true.
You got people that do podcasts that very rarely talk about Lego.
Yes, I'm one of those people.
Absolutely. But, you know, and that's good because this is your podcasts have kind of evolved. Cali Brickclick were kind of evolved, didn't it?
Yes.
It totally
did.
Yeah,
no, Cali Brickclick at first, it was, you know, we didn't know what we were doing. We just wanted to talk. And we at the first 10 episodes, I think we talked a lot of Lego.
Yeah.
And, you know, we actually hit whoever was listening very hard with whatever was going on in our lives at that time, which was very, at the time of the United States, you know, we had the riots, all that stuff that was happening. So we talked a lot about that and we realized, we can get pretty heavy. I think people are still going to watch. So after a minute, and this is also the first time that us three, as a Ninja, Claire and myself, like we were able to talk to each other in one room. So it took us a little bit to figure out what makes each other tick, like what you know, how to fill in case one steps away from the talking. So that dynamic of mainly Claire and I, because Ninja's kind of popped out of nowhere. He just kind of hid there. But you know, Claire and I, like, I know what would make Claire pissed off. Yeah. Or would irritate her, or would something that she might just know more of than I wouldn't. So I'll allow her that space or take over the space based on how she feels, or vice versa. She did the same thing for me. Like when I'm burnt out and she just knows I have nothing else to ask or say, she steps up and she takes over the conversation. But that took a long time to get to that point. And then, you know, and then at first the guests that we'd bring on, because after a while you're like, okay, I think it's time. Let's invite Hive. You know, our first guest. I think he's our first guest. And then in the beginning, it's just, let's just ask our friends. It's easy. Most likely they'll say yes. Right? But after a while, you're going to run out of friends that you know that's going to say yes. So now it's kind of venture out to the secondaries. Like, maybe they might say yes. We'll see. And then so you run out of your secondary friends who are not quite close to, but you're still cool with. And then you go out, because now you've built a catalog of trust, right?
And trust is so key.
It's because especially if you want someone that's like really up there, that is not really like around any of your circle. So it's really hard to get that person's attention.
And by the time you've kind of rippled out to that other circle, you know it's going to be something much more personable with that person. They're not going to be just talking about Lego, and that really doesn't come into it too often.
Not really,
which isn't a bad thing.
No,
you know, but you're asking them to open up to you,
which is hard.
Yeah.
So, and then that's the thing though, is when you go outside that ripple, especially, well, at least how we found out was when you start interviewing people who are not in front of a camera. How are they going to talk? Right? That was always my worry. Like one of the things where when people ask, like, can I come on the show? I'm like, I don't know you. So then you would have to vet them out. Like, are you just putting pictures on Instagram? If that's the case, I'm like, okay, where can I find something where you're speaking to a camera? Because really, you know, a podcast is all about talking. And I have my own faults with how I speak. Like I stutter, I slur. Sometimes like it just doesn't, you know, what I'm thinking in my mind is convey properly when I'm trying to talk or speak. So
well, you've got all this going on at the same time as well.
And I can also edit it too if I really wanted to. But like, you know, public speaking, that type of stuff. But a lot of people don't actually talk when they make their content. So getting someone from like that does in the Lego community that doesn't do content creation, but they're in the Lego community. The worry is how you're going to sound. And then luckily for me, I'm able to edit that out or fix how they sound. So you don't even really notice. Like there are some episodes of Cali Brickclick where the person on the other end as the guest, oh my God, it was excruciating to like edit, because if you're listening to it as an audience, right? After a while, it can get annoying with what they're saying. And it's no fault to the person. It's just, if you're saying, every other sentence, you know, it just kind of hurts the ears sometimes. And people want, you know, although we want it to be as genuine as possible. And that's another thing that I learned, is that you still want it to sound good. So that way it sounds like a natural conversation. But like when it starts becoming something where it's just completely filler words, then it's like, you don't know, it kind of sounds like you don't know what you're talking about, or, you know, that type of stuff. So, but what I've learned though, because I used to cut every single thing out, like every single pause of space, every single filler word I'd take out. It just sounds like, you just sound like a robot at that point.
AI.
So before AI. But what I've done now is, especially with this, because now I have full control of what you look and sound like. I will leave the pause. You know, I'll leave that. Like, I won't even like cut it out, just leave it. Obviously, if it's too long, I'll kind of cut a little bit, but I'll leave the mistakes. I want to sound natural.
Yeah, and sometimes that can be an almost natural heartbeat to that person as well. So you can't always edit out those things. I definitely listened to your podcast in the past, and I thought, oh my God, he's done some serious editing now. And I even think you even maybe moved around some of the conversation.
Oh, no, I moved the conversations a lot.
Yeah, I mean, how do you even do that? I could not be bothered.
It's a pain. I don't even know why I did that. Like for Cali Brick Click, I made like rules, right? And it always made more rules. Like for example, anytime one of us stepped off the camera, I zoomed into someone that's talking.
Of course.
So that way it doesn't look like the person that's stepping away. It doesn't look like they're not interested in the conversation because it's just an appearance. So stuff like that. I already know now, as time progresses with this one, I'm gonna create newer rules just like that. Kind of harder now since we're kind of talking to each other, and the way the conversation goes is just let it flow. So unless something bad is being said, I can't really change the conversation like I used to in Cali Brick Click by switching this all over. Yeah. That can't happen.
And the thing is, right, anyone who's kind of watching this back, we haven't talked about what we're going to talk about. There's no prerequisite. There's no agenda. We're just, I mean,
we're talking out of our ass right now.
We literally, I'm not joking, half an hour ago, we were downstairs and we must have been walking around with a chair for about 10 minutes.
Hoping I want to get stopped.
Grabbing a coffee. Yeah, that was going to mess with us.
Yeah, I'm like, look, I'm confidently holding this chair. Right? So everyone thinks someone let me do it. No, I just took it.
We kind of swapped over as well when we were in the Starbucks.
Yeah.
It was like, he completely threw the security guards.
No, they didn't even know. They didn't know what was happening.
Idea.
I even said to the front desk, I just stole a chair.
There it goes.
And they didn't say anything.
SOS, that was SAS.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it. I mean, we've just come up here, we've parked our backsides on these chairs and just started talking. No makeup, no chatting about what we're going to chat about. We talked about your equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah, you vlogged a little bit.
Yeah, it's got to be done. I don't do this every day.
This, right, everyone's always shocked by what comes into this because you look at, oh my God, this is serious. It's not really, but it's like, you know, it's just double the amount of what we all do, right? I mean, we all have a camera, whether it's an iPhone, Android, or DSLR. We have an audio, something, a mic attached to either the computer or a soundboard, and we have some lighting.
Yeah.
We're recording in a hotel room.
Yeah.
You know, I've already recorded 3 episodes here in Chicago, not in this hotel, where I had to break down and set up in different locations. I'm become quite efficient at it. And I love how like everyone asks, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "No, don't touch it."
Yeah. You've got to do.
I got to do it.
It's a process.
It's a process. Yeah, because like I have a checklist in my head. It's like I need to know that this is attached to this. This is attached to this. And then at the same time, when I break down, me breaking stuff down and putting it away is my checklist, knowing that I didn't forget it.
Yeah. Is that like putting a rifle together? Or
yes,
like
exactly. Like taking apart a rifle and putting it back together. And I appreciate everyone that wants to help. I mean, I get it. A lot of people that have come on the show, they're content creators. So they get it. They understand what needs to go where. And they respect the fact that, you know, they asked me first before doing it.
Yeah.
But it's a process to like, it's a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna lie. It's a pain in the ass to set up and break down everywhere.
But you got pride in what you do.
Of course.
You know, so this is going to sound great.
Oh, I hope so. But that's my other fear, is that this might not sound great. Not by what we're talking about, is that the end product, when I test it on the computer, something's wrong. Because this is a one shot. Remember that, right?
Yeah, this is it.
If this doesn't fly, we have to be like, hey, Greg, it didn't work out. We want to try it again, or we can do it next time.
But it'll be different.
It will be different.
Because it'll be another time.
The same. Yeah.
Other things have happened in our life.
Yeah.
It won't be. We won't be here for Brickworld Chicago.
Even if we did it tomorrow, like if I looked at it today and be like, it didn't, like something was off.
Yeah.
And you're down, record tomorrow. Like, cool. We record it. It's not going to be the same conversation. No. It's going to be a totally different thing. Again, it's not scripted. So like there's no talking points. I didn't bring anything up to you. And that happens more often when you're like, we're friends. Yeah. Anytime I have someone who I've already known for a very long time, I honestly don't know what to talk about. Yeah, like, really? let's
I like impulse though. Yeah. I love impulse. The thing I hate about getting older, I'm 50 now. How old are you roughly?
37.
37.
Yeah.
Oh, God, wish I was 37. I think I was getting divorced when I was 37.
That
first time.
sucks.
Yeah, I mean, people say Lego's expensive. Divorce is way more expensive. So that kind of puts things into perspective quite nicely, I always say. It kind of grounds me quite nicely. But the thing is, as you get older, the problem with getting older, it isn't all of the things that come physically with getting older and all that stuff. You can look after yourselves now and look pretty good and keep going a little bit longer. It's the inability to do things for the first time. That's what bugs me. That's why I like to be impulsive and just sometimes go with the flow. Don't know what's going to happen. I have so many people that come on London Calling that say, right, what's the agenda? What are we going to be talking about? What are we going to do? And all I ever reply to them is like, I just want you to have fun. And they're like, they'll send me back an emoji with their brain going like that. And I'm like, I just want you to have fun. Be yourselves, have fun.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I want. That's all I ever want. And
I mean, to be fair, in Cali Brick Click when you were on, and even now, I'm not worried about this dude talking because I know he can just talk forever. So also with that type of, I guess, complacency, I didn't prepare anything for this. So, and I think the same thing happened with Emily and Ross. Like when we were going to the car back to their home, I was like, I don't have anything to talk about with y'all.
But if you think about it, you'll worry about it.
Yeah.
It'll become a thing.
And then now you're like, what am I supposed to say? You know what I mean? And I try to prepare something for each guest. Like there's something where, everyone that I plan on having on this for the week, I roughly have an idea of what I want to talk about. If it goes that way, cool. If it doesn't, it doesn't. 50% of the time, it actually goes that way. 50% of the time, we talk about completely something different. As long as I can hear it well and it looks good. I think at this point, that's where it's at. Now, going back to how you're saying out evolving with this stuff, I don't know where it's going to go. It could get to a point where there are segments of things I want to talk about, depending on what does better. Yeah. But I haven't been looking at it like that. Like to be honest, I just like talking to anyone that I bring on face to face. It's really cool. Because that was the one thing that I really loved about Cali Brick Click was meeting new people. Yes, it was also cool to talk to my friends and have a subject that I know that's bothering or they just know more stuff about. Yeah. And just give them the space to just speak their piece, especially like when you have when you're in content creation, there's sometimes when you get to a spot where this is what you want to show people based on what analytics tell you or your audience wants from you, and you stick to that. And it's very hard to venture away, especially if you're angry or sad. You have to put on a face. Yeah. So to be genuine, although it's something that we all strive to be, sometimes it's hard because it doesn't win all the time.
Well, there's always the problem having, if you want to do something, it's having that creativity to do it in the first place. Then it's executing it. And then it's having the bloody energy to actually fulfill it anyhow. And it's really hard to have those moments. I mean, I don't have kids. You have kids. And having to navigate all that and get to where you want to be and portray yourself in how you feel you really are or want to be portrayed anyway, that's really tough. I still think you are I get the sense that you do this for fun as well.
Of course. There's no way I would spend this much money and this much stress myself out that much just for...
But it's strange, isn't it? Why do we do this to ourselves?
Yeah, fair enough.
I the noose around my neck for my channel is my city. It's Legonden. Everyone
Never
knows.
Gonna see that. 2027 is probably what's going to be released. World War III has already started and Legonden is finally going to come out.
It will happen. It's happening. You got to build stuff. So I wanted to get that going. Like I wanted that to be live about 3 months ago.
Yeah, I was waiting to see that last year,
and probably a little bit before that.
No, way before that.
I know, and but life kind of gets in the way.
Yeah,
there is that. There is. Don't get me wrong. I know I keep saying it's going to come. It's going to come, and everyone's like, yeah, so is Christmas. But it will happen. I mean, there's been some setbacks. Here's the thing, right? These are things that no one ever tells you, right? So down in my cabin, right? I've had it happen twice now. It won't happen again. And that's all my Alex drawers. You know, when you pull the drawers out, underneath the drawer, it's actually not painted, is it? It's just like a hardboard.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure, I understand what you're saying. It's not painted.
But it's not painted. It's not finished off or anything like that. And bloody hell, I got mold growing on it.
Oh no!
Yeah, I've got no mold in that room at all. Right?
Where's that moisture coming from?
So it just happened. It was just in the air. So I cleaned it all off, and we're talking like there's a lot. There was like four Alex drawers, all the shelves that are in there as well, everything. Now, that isn't a particularly big space to do everything, and I was cleaning all that up during winter, so that took about a month. So while I'm working down there and doing the live streams from down there,
inhaling that mold.
Yeah, inhaling that, which isn't the best thing for you.
No, it's not.
And it's not even that. Do you know how I noticed I had it? I was opening up the drawers and I was thinking, why is there green dust on my bricks?
No.
They're so weird. And then one day, I think I was just doing a live stream. I just thought, it could be mold. It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So then I opened the drawer up, looked underneath it, and I was like, oh my God. And it was really bad. I'm talking ghastly. It was horrific. And I thought, oh, maybe it's just a one-off. So I got every drawer I pulled out. Everything had been attacked by it. Like, we're talking like it's really thick.
No.
It was like a carpet. It was a nightmare. And I was like, oh my God. So anyway,
setback. Okay.
Big setback. Not an expensive one. It's just a time-consuming one. And moving everything around. Now, I've recorded all this.
I was saying, did you at least film it?
It's all there, man.
Okay.
So I did it once, right? And that took about 2 weeks from start to finish. And I was using all kind of cleaners and bleachers on them and stuff like that. I was going beyond what I thought I needed to do. And then randomly, about 6 weeks later, so we're getting in from winter, we've moved into sort of late spring. So 6 weeks later, I thought, do you know what? Let's just check and see if it's come back. And so I opened up a drawer. In my mind, I was like, there's going to be nothing there. My God, it came back even worse.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, do
you not have a fan or ventilation inside that office?
There's no ventilation in there.
There you go.
I wouldn't think I need it. That's the thing. It doesn't get particularly hot down there.
Yeah, but moisture comes from you.
This is it. No, I totally. I know. Yeah. I learned quite a lot about it these days. There's a dehumidifier down there now. And
there you go.
Yeah, so honestly, when you sort of think, oh, geez, I've got to spend a lot of time working on that, and there's no content coming out of that or anything like that, albeit I've recorded it. So I will be doing a kind of, I've been in the cabin 2-3 years now. This is what I've gone through. I'll get to the point of where I've kind of sorted everything out, which I have, by the way. So basically, when it came back second time, I cleaned everything up like you do. And this is all close proximity stuff as well. Now, the benefit of what I had happen the second time is that I had actually some decking put on outside the cabin. So the cabin is completely finished now, which is why I want to do this retrospective. Thank you, my friend. So I could then put everything outside, clean it, but I didn't just clean it this time. I then treated it and then varnished it.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
So now the mold's got nothing to adhere to.
To attach to, yeah.
2 months later, I've been checking it.
Nothing.
Clean as a whistle. Right? So that's great. So then I think to myself, right, I can start building up some Mills plates and doing stuff like that and start building the city. And then I noticed with the 2 tables that I've got, I think they're called linen tables or something like that. It's
IKEA.
Yeah, it's IKEA.
Yeah.
Or IKEA, as our European cousins like to call it. And
it's IKEA.
America.
Well,
that's what we call it, IKEA. Yeah, we call it IKEA. But for some reason, in the TV adverts in London, they call it IKEA.
Okay.
So where'd that come from?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. It's like we used to call the car, the manufacturer, Skoda, and now they're called Skoda for some reason.
That sounds better.
Yeah, Skoda.
That sounds better. That sounds more.
It's very Northern European.
Well, I was thinking Sean Connery.
Oh, yeah. Where's money, penny?
There you go.
So, yeah. So, what, I'm looking at the tables and I'm thinking, there's a bit of a dip in the table. So, what I did, this table is about 2 meters long. I don't know what that is. In feet, maybe 6 feet. 7 feet. Yeah, roughly 6 feet. Right? So everything's going to be sort of 60 centimeters by 2 meters. So 120 centimeters one way, 2 meters the other. So we're talking 6 feet by maybe 4.5, something like that roughly. And I've set stuff out and I've the table's got a dip in the middle of it. Both of them had it. I didn't put the middle leg in. So you got 2 legs, obviously each end in each corner.
So it's dipping, it's bending in the middle.
Yeah, to stop the dipping, you put that middle leg in place. So there's obviously 5 legs. And I thought, oh, that's fine. I didn't fit them about 2 years ago when I started to see, I'll fit them now. Of course, I fitted them and it's like a seesaw then, isn't it?
Because you now let it warp into that little
I've walked and it's not going to walk back the other way anytime soon.
So what's the excuse now?
Well, I've got the tables are all in place now.
Okay.
I've got more stuff organized around it.
All right. The mill's done already, right?
The mill's done. Now, I finished redoing the shelves that were behind me. That was the last thing that I needed to do. So when you see me streaming and stuff like
That's different.
I've got the Falcon behind me and all this sort of thing. And those shelves have all been completely cleaned. That was the last thing I needed to do, which is kind of strange because that's the closest the mold ever was to me, which sounds creepy now when I think about it. So, and then what I did was I got rid of all the lighting that was on there, which was basically fairy lights that I had over everything.
You just kind of shredded it everywhere.
I thought, no one else does this. I'm going to do that. And of course, when I did it, I realized why no one else does it, because it's a pain in the ass. So with that in mind, I've got rid of those. I've got some nice little LED lights. They're all just USB ones, that sort of thing.
Oh, that works. These are cheap ones right here on the floor.
And it works great.
Yeah, it works great.
I bought a new light box as well, which is a London Underground one. I've just popped that over my shoulder. So for the last 2 weeks, my backdrop on London Calling looked quite different to what it has beforehand. But it's in transition at the moment.
Okay.
Because I've got the Falcon and that back on again and redress it. But it was quite nice. I quite like the minimalistic look.
Yeah, that's good.
Like I'm taking a proper kind of leaf out of Tiago's book where more or less is more.
Yes.
And I can see it because you actually display it. It's like you look at it and you think, wow, that actually looks really nice.
Yeah, like the lifestyle photos that we see.
100%.
And don't believe that are real.
Yeah. But they're real in my life, but only for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, no. Most Lego fans can't do that.
Yeah, you'd have to live in a big house.
Either a very big house or have very little stuff to display.
Yeah.
One day maybe we'll see that city. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So this is what's going to happen with the city, right? So the first building. I mean, I've built loads. I've got a good handful of modulars. I say loads. It's probably about
how many of them are
7
built?
or 8. I think about 8 are built so far, right? So I'm doing Ninjago City at the moment. I'm not quite sure where I started. I started that because I just asked my community, what would you like me to build? Like a standard modular on mills, or would you like to do do a Ninjago City one? And they were like, yeah, do Ninjago City. We've not seen that ever been done before. So I've started. I'm like halfway through it.
Are you enjoying it?
Oh, I love it.
And Ninjago City is such a great set.
Oh, it's one of the best. And dare I say, it comes with some fantastic stickers as well.
Very.
So I can, it's very nice to apply my technique to
50 different videos.
But they're beautiful. Dude, I pre-recorded 4 already. So, but it takes, you're getting a little bit more content out of it. And this is like, it's a new layer of content for me. So that's why the sticker thing is quite useful. And also as well, like I was saying, during May and June, I've been home so few times that it's good to have London Calling on the Friday and the sticker on a Thursday. You know, when that comes out, it's just little boosts every week.
Yeah,
and that's good. And that's a good place to be. You know, and I think everyone should have, or try to at least try and have, especially when we're doing it. We work like 40 to 60 hours a week, and then you've got life, and then if you're lucky, the tip, you've got that bit of time to do your creative stuff.
Just a tip.
Let alone build some bloody Lego.
Yeah, no, oh my God, I so relate. I don't have time to do any of this.
Yeah, it's literally, do you know, I cannot remember. I think I've done it once this year when I just did nothing. I didn't want to do anything. That is the most luxurious thing you can do.
Just to sit and lay there and not do jack.
Just let your mind wander.
Yeah. No, that
sounds really lazy. But
but that sounds so good. Just to not have a worry in the world for even 10 minutes. Because even when I'm like sleeping, like I'm always like, my mind's still racing. But you just said it right there. Like I work 40 plus hours a week. You know, after that, it's whatever the children need, you know, with their extracurricular activities.
You got that later, man.
Yeah, their food, their clothes, whatever they want to play. You know, and then obviously making time with the wife, just making sure that, you know, we try to carve out time for us just to keep that relationship.
That is super. Like, that's so like, necessary. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
My relationship with my wife is by far the most important thing. And in some respects, I do less now than what I ever have done, because I kind of put things into a little bit of perspective. Okay. But by a long shot, I adhere a lot of time to it.
As
and
you
the community as well. That's the thing I love is the people that are within my community and our communities. I mean, let's say that a bit of a strange concept, my community. But our communities are all ripples of everybody else's community.
For the most part,
It's not, we don't fire 5 fence off our community. You can't be in charge right here. Yeah. It's not like that. We all interlink in one way, shape or form. And that's good. But that's where my time is always focused on, because they're the people that matter.
Shy time is my time. I just do this when I want to.
And do you build what you generally want to as well?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, like, well, okay. For me specifically, I buy what I want, right? Because I know I'm gonna want it, not knowing if I'm ever gonna use it. And most of the time, I do buy stuff that I know I'm gonna use. Now it's very intentional, like the stuff for the army, but a lot of stuff's like, bricklink stuff. But when I buy sets, and that's the problem when I buy a bunch of sets that I'm not gonna ever use or film.
Yeah.
Why am I buying them? Like.
Yeah.
But then I go back and saying, well, I shouldn't have to film it. Like, I shouldn't be in that mentality of whatever I buy, I need to film it. Like, no.
Yeah,
like, enjoy.
that bothers me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy the set. Like, I find it when I pop up one of those sets and I don't need to share it. I have no intention of even taking a photo of it or whatever, especially when it comes to my kids. Like, when they want to build something, I'm not going to share that. No, it's... and I just enjoy the building process, and it kind of brings back to the innocence of why I even started this to begin with, right? Especially when it comes to my daughter. Like, she likes to build all these friend sets, but then she gives up after a while, and she's like, she's 4, and she's buying like the 9+ sets, right? So she'll build for a little bit, she gets frustrated, and then I help her, and then she ditches me, and I'm just stuck building it. So I'll just keep building until she comes back or whatever. But at least in that moment when I'm building it by myself, or even with her, when she's just sitting there looking at me build it, because she wants it done quickly. Yeah. Like, she's not into the whole, like, I want to build it myself. I just want to play with it. That's where she's at. I'm enjoying it. Like, I'm like, there's no intent with this aside from exactly what Lego is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, going back to how we evolve through all this, because you said in the very beginning, like, we've been doing this for like 5 years, right?
We're vets at this.
Yeah, we are definitely vets at this. We see people that succeed. We see people like fall off. We see people evolve. We see people disappear. And I think you and I are going to be here for a while with no matter what, in some capacity, right? And we're cataloging everyone that comes to our shows, and, it's out there for people to ever, pull out if they really need to by typing their name out. And it's cool to see not only ourselves evolve in how we're presenting everybody, but watching people evolve within their own content creation, within themselves and stuff like that. Yeah. It's a pretty cool feeling to catalog some of the things that people, or how people are back 4 years ago, that you can kind of refer to and be like, hey, remember when you did this?
Generic Stud came on London Calling when he had 200 subscribers.
And look at him now.
Yeah. Look
at him now.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to make him do anything now.
If you're out there, Generic, you know where I am.
Yeah, right. But I think in the end, I think it's cool that let's see what you're doing. Like, London Calling is a staple in the community. I turn to and want to listen to you guys every Friday and like want to know what's happening. And I'm not even paying attention to 75% of what's happening because it's always playing while I'm working and I'm half listening. But every now and then I'll hear something that I want to replay.
Yeah.
So then I'll rewind back, or I pause it, or I download it, or like I save it, and then I continue sometime during the weekend, one of my runs, and I'll listen to what was being said. Yeah. And I find it like, it's like when you're missing an episode, and thankfully you haven't been missing episodes, there's an empty void for that expectation for the day without one of those episodes. So then, between you, ACOP, Good Morning Brickworld, like when Good Morning Brickworld ended out of nowhere, when Hive did that, I was like, oh, that was Drew. When he just ended the show, everyone was like, what happened? It's 2 hours. It just abruptly ended. Yeah, and we're like, what's going on here? Something okay? Everyone okay? Or did someone get hurt or something?
Yeah, was that the wrong button?
Yeah, they hit the wrong button, but he didn't continue it. He was just like, oh, whatever, it's off. We're gonna continue next time. But it's in those instances, like, you can feel that, like, now there's a void. Like, what happened? I don't know how to continue my day.
I put the feelers out there before because I got to when I got to 200, I was like, should I just like wind it down a little bit? And this was around the time that you had wound down Cali Brickley. Which, by the way, I rewound that like 5 times because that came out of the blue. That was like
that slapped everyone in the face.
I was like, I think I was eating a sandwich, and I was like, I don't like where these conversations all of a sudden turn.
But you could feel that something's about to happen, and it's like you're about to hear some bad news, like when you're anticipating that it's about to happen, and then it's said.
I got this sense. I was like, one of the three, they're holding back something here. I think they kind of wanted you to sort of kind of announce it. That's what he felt like.
No. You do it, Claire. Cold-blooded. I miss doing Cali Brick. Like I miss like conversing with Claire every week. That's what I really look forward to with it, is that I got to check in with the Meg every week. Like every week we get to like talk.
Yeah, it's like a sort of a family WhatsApp thing, isn't it?
Definitely. I feel like, when we have our hands on like different things, it shows people you're still here.
Yeah.
Right? I think when people are not posting a lot, because it happens, you go through life, and when you disappear for a little bit without announcing it, people worry, like, are you okay? Ninja's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Right? He's not doing anything as far as his own channel. He's not posting anything at all. He's not on Cali Brick Click. So, Cali Brick was like, he's here because he's on Cali Brick Click.
Yeah.
I could technically just put a photo of him and then he's here, right? He doesn't have to even say anything.
I miss his little sig
yeah, his little sig fig. Every now and then he'll move it on the screen, right? You can see his hand move. But it's a way to check in. And, it's fine. And it's scary sometimes when someone just disappears and you have no idea what happened to them. And you're like, has anyone checked on Wabba? Wait, Wabba? Whatever, it doesn't matter. I was just trying to do. And then you're like, no, we haven't. No one's heard anything. I hope their person's okay. And then you go into real life mode. You're like, who has his contact? Hey, and then you try to figure out who actually hangs out with that person, and they reach out and nothing happens.
And then sometimes you realize, I don't actually know this person. Like I know them directly well, but I don't know them personally. Yeah.
So like, realistically, let's play an exercise. If I were to disappear as far as content creation after a month of not hearing from me, who would you reach out to?
I would have to be Claire.
Okay. If you can't get a hold of Claire, who's next?
If I can't get a hold of Claire, then maybe Hive.
Well, they both have my personal contacts, so I guess that makes sense. But just based on what you know, who has the highest probability of figuring it out?
Well, that's an interesting question. It depends how you approach that. But
because you also got to remember, like,
I would say Claire, only because Claire. She knew you week in, week out.
Yeah.
So,
but she also knows my wife. She knows where I live.
Yeah.
Right.
I tell you who I'd throw in there as well. Maybe Emily.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emily's been to my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Claire would be a perfect one to reach out and figure it out, because both Emily and Claire know my wife. They know exactly where I live. They have my phone number. So it's very simple. Like, you just text the person, are you okay? But I could ghost. And then what happens? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you need to ask it indirectly.
Yeah, indirectly. So you and I have seen a lot of transition.
Yeah, a lot. Because we were around pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
And then pandemic, it was like, everyone
shut up.
Everyone and their dog was on YouTube. And then,
shout out to Chris.
And then when things, where you been?
He sold his Lego.
I know.
It's gone.
I know. If you want to see a lot of Chris's Lego, then check out High Tea Toys.
There we go, Joanna.
So there's a lot of people that left, and that was really sad but then, the Twitch platform did really well during that period of time. A lot of people came in. I think a lot of people realized how hard YouTube actually is. I've been going for nearly 5 years. I'm 200 subs short now of 10,000.
Congratulations. You're almost there.
Cannot wait to hit that 10,000. That will be a milestone. Yeah, the double digits. I'm there then. I will feel completely accomplished. So, a couple of more sticker shorts and I should be there.
Yeah, just keep doing the shorts and then you'll get the 10,000.
But I like having the two different kind of streams as well. It's like, London Calling, live stream, podcast, the shorts. And of course, I do want to do reviews. I want to definitely start doing like proper reviews. I'm not going to do like sort of a Jang review. I've got a couple of ideas for approaches that I want to do that are in a style of what nobody else does. I'm going to start studying the form a little bit. I want to study how Tiago does his. He's immaculate. He is like Jang. He's like the
Tiago's pro. He's a pro.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
But I also like watching someone like, say, Stud City, when he just does it in his kitchen. So
shout out to Crystal.
Big inspiration, right? Jean's version. Okay, so I'm watching her. I'm watching her vlogs, and Nicole as well, of course. And I thought they're just doing it from their car, and I was like, really? Do people really like that? And then I thought, well, I can understand the benefits of it, because once you get out of your car, you just go and edit it up, and boom, you're away.
Yeah, you're done.
That's what I thought. I'll do the same thing. I'll give it a go. And lo and behold, the videos did pretty well for the size of the channel and all that kind of stuff. So I've continued doing that. But it was them that kind of gave me the idea. I completely just copied their idea of just doing it. And I'm sure that they got the idea.
Inspired.
Yeah, inspired.
You're inspired by it.
It's back to ripples again. You know, it's the ripple effect. And so I'm totally grateful for them about that. But I'm not going to go every month, go to the Lego store and buy stuff. And, it's just sometimes there's a few factors involved in that, especially on what day of the week it falls on and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe, I still would like to be in LAN one day. I applied once, I didn't get in. I'm definitely going to apply again. But it's not the be all and end all. I'll give it a go. I think I've got, my unique selling point is...
Did you use London Calling as a basis of that application the first time?
I did mention it, yeah. And you know what? Because they just kind of, it's a bit of an automatic reply when you don't get in.
Yeah, it's just a generic
It's
response.
very generic. Yeah. But they do ask you, if you want to know, beg the question.
What do they say?
Well, do you know what? The nice thing was, they'll because it's a panel of people.
They all have to say yes.
And they all know me. And they just felt at that time that I just wasn't big enough. Now, I kind of get that, but then equally I kind of think, well, there's people that are much smaller though.
There's a lot of people much smaller.
Yeah,
I know. That's a BS answer.
And we're all kind of niches within niches. Yeah. And my thing is, so since then, I've really kind of pushed the boat up when it comes to being a Londoner. Even like I'll be watching something on Instagram or something like that, and someone will get this great piece of music, and then I'll apply some beautiful vistas of London or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to just throw that on my stories or something like that because I'm in London. Or if there's a big event that's happening in London.
Yeah, you're creating a brand.
It is a brand.
You're creating a brand.
It's a London thing. Sometimes getting rejection and stuff like that, it just makes you try that bit harder, and it does make you better. Now, I will reapply again soon. I might just do it when I've hit 10,000 or something like that. I might just do it after we've finished off with Brickworld. But if I don't get in, fine. It's not an easy thing to be in anyway. It's a nice club to be in. And yeah, it's really good getting those sets early and stuff like that. But we know a lot of people that are in LAN, and it's a lot of work as well. And it's not like it's paid work as well.
No, it's
free. You've got to do something with it.
And that's why they're just taking photos of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier.
It is.
It's a lot easier. No stress about making videos, nothing like that. I commend anyone who's on LAN. I've applied 3 times. Twice rejection. It gave me the BS answer the first time because I asked, like, why? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
And they just said I wasn't big enough. I'm like, okay, I'll accept that. Not the answer that I wanted. The second time, it was another generic, and I didn't want to even press it. And then after conversing with episode 4 of Sauce with Panfred, or episode 3 or 4, with Panfred Noodle, Fred. So I just said, screw it. I'm going to go all in and apply for that one more time and go all in the veteran aspect of it. Yeah. Of the community that I find myself in. Every video I get, thank you for your service, or hey brother, I'm with this unit. I served here, blah, blah, blah. All the time, every video. You'll see, if you scroll and look at my comments, you'll see something. Occasionally you'll see some stupidity with like something like babies, whatever killer or something like that. I'm like, or something that was completely inappropriate. Yeah. Sometimes I delete them, sometimes I don't. But a lot of the time,
but that's a reflection on them.
Yeah,
that's not a reflection on you.
Fine. But that's the aspect of showing that I'm a veteran, right? Yeah. I even had a whole hit on me wearing that hat, right? So like the whole thing about, oh, so is it okay for a Russian to say Ukraine veteran? And I'm like, you don't understand the meaning of that hat. The meaning of the hat is not to show off that I went to Iraq and Afghanistan. It's nothing to do with that. It's to show other veterans that they're not the only ones if they've been to those places. Yeah. That's what that means. Yeah. I'm not proud of what we did in Iraq and Afghanistan. Not at all. We lost. Like we destroyed the country that didn't need to be destroyed. Yeah. Like 2 of them. And, we kind of made it worse. So am I proud that I took part in that? No. But I struggled in the same ways as many other people, other Americans, other sons and daughters who signed up to do something to protect their country. Yeah. Whether we were used for good or not, that wasn't our decision. No. You know what I mean? We didn't put ourselves first. We put ourselves last. Yeah. So a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of times comes from kids, and I get it, whatever you want to be fed.
Yeah, but that kind of hurt. It can hurt.
Yeah, it hurts a lot. Yeah. But and in that aspect, it kind of makes me wonder how my dad feels. Because my dad's a Vietnam vet. He couldn't even wear his uniform outside the plane. He would get spat on. He would, hippies would really destroy him. He had to fight a lot of people off. Yeah. somebody were to disrespect me like that in public, I don't know what I would do. You know, that just shows a privilege that I have in that nature.
Yeah.
But, you know, with this application, and this is the first time I'm actually talking about it publicly, whether I get in or not, depending when this video comes out, probably already know, but at least I'll just speak upon the application process, at least this time what I kind of focus on. And the first two applications, I kind of touched the veteran aspect of it. I didn't really make that a focus, right?
Yeah.
And at the time, most of my videos were reviews of Brickmania. Okay, and that doesn't, I can see where that might not be a play, no matter how big I was. And then the second time around, you know, I kind of ventured away. That's when I stopped doing a lot of Brickmania stuff. And it wasn't my choice. It was just, I can only do so many videos on a Sherman tank, and then I don't want to keep buying all these Sherman tanks.
And they are expensive.
They're expensive. I need to kind of shift over. So then I found the love of actually doing Lego stuff, right? That building a Black Falcon army, like focusing on my city, or, you know, complaining about Lego like we all do. So, you know, I felt like, okay, I'm a little different this time. Maybe not maybe better. And then I got rejected again. And I was a little bitter about it. I'm like, whatever, it is what it was. And I kind of gave up, right? And then talking to Panfred about it, listening to what I was saying in replay, because I have to listen to this all over again and really dissect how I'm saying it. And I'm like, why don't I just, you know, when I'm mimicking both stories together, because I'm putting the story of how Lego did me wrong with my military experience and how that really affected me. I'm like, what if I just mash that up in the application? Like really go on it. So it's me trying to explain why the veteran community is an important one in the Lego space. Because I felt for a while that although a lot of people are very appreciative, right? And I mentioned you saw it in London Calling, like 2 weeks ago, dude. I mentioned it
in England. Soldiers are heroes.
I understand that.
Whether they've done the right thing or the wrong thing or what, we tend to stand by them.
And so does the rest of the United States. Most of them do that. And I'm not saying that. Well, what I was saying was, I feel like Lego themselves, since they don't acknowledge anything to do with the military, and rightfully so, I get it. Like I understand their history, whatever. I could bro vet them back with, well, you wouldn't be here if the United States didn't show up. I could do that all day. But that doesn't mean anything. What it really means is the message that they want to their children to be playing with military stuff. Okay, I get it, whatever. But what that's harboring is that what you're saying is that being in the military is not okay.
Yes.
That's where I'm feeling.
That's
I'm like, so I'm like, wait, so then now I feel like, because I battled with this when we pulled out of Afghanistan. Right. When that moment happened in those last few days when the United States was pulling out of the airport in Kabul, and all that stuff was happening, I went through a world of hurt mentally. And a lot of my brothers and sisters felt the same way. We're like, a lot of us died, got hurt, and got really messed up. For what?
For what?
For what?
For what reason?
What was this for? So it started playing with that same emotion where I was just like, okay, so then if you don't care about us, then fuck you. So I was getting a lot.
So that kind of, what a strange thing. You stay within the army, strong connections to it. And then even though you're doing something else because it helps you, having been in the army, maybe and doing the Lego and stuff like that. What was it? Do you think it was the rejection of it that kind of made it bubble up to the surface?
No, it had nothing to do with the rejection.
Or the sense that it's like,
I think because I started to talk about it.
Did you feel it was meaningless coming from them?
Yeah, I guess in a way, but it was more because I started talking about it. Like, then I was starting to see the feedback. Right. And then you're reading the comments, you're reading the messages, you're reading because I know I didn't just say it on Sauce. I didn't just say it in all my other videos. Oh, actually, I say it a lot of my videos. But since I started doing shorts of it, right, you see the discussion about it in the comment section. And then I'm not even saying anything.
That's when you know you've done a good video. Whether it be a short or long form video.
People are arguing all day. So I'm like, well, thanks for arguing. That's good. It's helping the video. Yes, great. Keep doing it. But then you get to see how people really feel. And then you're like, then I'm starting to, look at, oh, shoot, because, Lego says no military. I mean, do you guys care that I'm here? Am I a problem for being here? Like, so then it kind of creates an environment where then you don't like us and you don't want us to be here and it feels discriminatory, right? So then because of all of that, I already did this application in January, so I already wrote my piece for this, and that's how I've been feeling like this for a while, a long time. And in the application.
Did that feel good though to kind of get it off your chest?
It felt so good. The application, I was very, very proud of it. And I thank you to the sources for like offering to like at least want to read it before, but I didn't even ask them to proofread it. I wanted to say, coming from a veteran, this is going to be from me and nobody else. I put stats. Like in the very beginning, the first question, if you remember, have you redone it since? Because they changed the application since you did it.
No.
Okay, so it's got more extensive.
Okay.
So the first question is like pretty much describing who you are. It's kind of the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this time around, I put stats. Like I said, there's over 12 million veterans at a given time, and just in the United States alone, there's this many servicemen just in the United States alone. 22 veterans commit suicide every minute or something like that. I forget the actual stat.
Yeah.
On top of that. And Lego is a good way to prevent something like that. And I promote the benefits and stuff like that. So kind of going in that aspect by putting real numbers in their faces. Because I think, coming from another country, you understand what you see about the United States industrial complex.
But at least you're getting them to think,
about
even
it.
if they do reject you again,
there's
some thought.
There's an audience.
There is an audience.
Yeah, there's money to be made if they really want to look at it in that aspect, right? Yeah. And so I kind of started from that story arc where I show that there's people here, right? That are here because again, like Lego doesn't acknowledge anything to do with the military, right? There's no Happy Veterans Day portrait, right? These are veteran builders in the community that they're doing this, that how Lego helps them. None of that. Memorial Day, nothing there. Or any other equivalent in any other country. Nothing, right? All of us have it in a different day.
Yeah.
Nothing in all of those. And then, as you can tell, I'm like, and this is fresh coming from Memorial Day. So obviously this emotion is like very heavy in my heart. So there's nothing of that. And then immediately it goes to like, what are you going to buy your father from Father's Day? Like, okay, so you just skipped over an entire month of remembrance. And then I got into where does your people who watch you, like where are they from? I put in veterans from this country that watch my stuff. Because it's not just US veterans that are watching my stuff and armed service members. There's people from Canada, Australia, a lot of places in Europe. Yeah. And they're there.
They're soldiers.
Yeah, they
Whichever
are.
way you look at it. No matter what side you are.
It doesn't matter. They're young men and women who have been forced or volunteered to put their life on the line to two old men that are making decisions that are not in the front. So in the end, I kind of just really focused on that and then ended it with, if I were to be on, and it doesn't even matter if it was me, any other veteran I'll be on. Yeah. And there is a veteran that's inland, but he's not open about it. And he doesn't use it, to find other veterans. Yeah. It's just, he's just happens to be a veteran. And shout out to him, by the way. Risking Podcast. Love you, boo. I'm the only one that does that. And I'm not rightfully, I don't think I'm the only one that does that. There's a veteran Lego dad, Roger. He's another perfect example. He really hops on that. And what I love about it is that people come to me and tell me I'm a veteran too, blah, blah, blah. And that's one less person I can ensure that you're not that 22.
Okay, hand on heart then. Do you think you have a chance to get in, or are you just happy that you've managed to get your point?
I got my word. Even if I get rejected, as long as I get not a generic, like reply,
that would be so unjust.
And again, like me wanting to be land, as it is selfish in a way because I'm trying to rectify what Lego did to me. I'm trying to close that chapter in my life, and me. Because I'm in the YouTube space, because I'm in the content creator space, I'm not saying that I'm successful in any way whatsoever, but this is where I love to be. I love Lego so much. I love being in this community so much. It's taking up a lot of my money and time. And I just want a pat on the back because apparently because I'm here is the reason why I can't work for Lego. Is the reason why Lego fired me. So becoming part of LAN will be like that part was a mistake. And you're not terming me because of who I am. You turned to me because of what you thought I was gonna be. So, and I proved my point that I wasn't that person that you thought I was gonna be. I wasn't gonna be leaking information and making content out of it. Like I didn't do any of that. If that was your worry, you should have just had some balls and told me that. You know what I mean? But you did it. You just said, no, we don't trust you. So no, the LAN thing, it is a selfish reason. It gives me like, it will be able to close that arc, but at the same time, like, when I really reflect on it, there's so many veteran Lego builders out there. And every time I like these days come up, and it's because I'm so involved with the military community, and Memorial Day really hits me every year. I built a mock about it.
I mean,
like,
it's not like you're an extremist or something like that.
No, I just want like, I look at my five brothers that I put pictures of on the mock. I look at them, they're not here anymore. Yeah. And like, no one knows them. And I don't expect you to. Like, I don't expect you to cry for them. I'll cry for them. That's not meant, it's not meant they survive so you can have fun. Go have fun. So, and then when I look at Lego, something that I really love, and then there's no love from them back. You know what I mean? There's love for every other community. Yeah. Shout out to like Black History Month. They'll do something there. Yeah. I can say that because I'm half black. You know what I mean? Or any other month of, Pride. There's a big thing on Pride. Yeah. Huge. Every company harps on Pride.
That would never have happened 10 years ago.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't have happened 10 years ago.
And things evolve, and some things evolve slowly, some things don't. And
but people fought for that. Yeah. So this is, I guess, in a way, me trying to fight for that. Yeah. Like, have a highlight. I'm not saying I want to be highlighted on Lego.com. Yeah. No, I'm not saying that. There are people on Lego Masters who are veterans. Did they get any acknowledgement for being a veteran? There was a hint of it. Yeah. Like, I served, blah, 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 but it was quick. Yeah. There was no... I did this. There's no homage. There's none of that.
They don't have any stories. Where they didn't allow that. They're kind of interviewing them, and then it goes back. It's a thing.
Is this a thing? Like, you're not trying to show this side of the people that love your product. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. By the time this comes out, I either got rejected or accepted.
And how what will you do? So let's play devil's advocate. Okay.
What will I do?
What will you do? They come back. Say you get rejected. Okay. What then happens with Shy? What?
It stays the same. Yeah, nothing changes. But again, like what you said earlier, like that was my goodbye letter. Whether I accept it or not, that was me. That was my closure. That was it.
The threshold, the line in the sand.
I put my whole heart into that. Yeah, and that was it. It's just like me saying goodbye.
I'd like to read that one day.
Maybe I'll show it if I get rejected. Yeah. But let's say I do get in, because that was the other question, right? Let's say I do get in. What am I going to do? I won't be doing reviews. I even put that in there. Like, I'm not a review person. So there's so many other people in the Lego space that do reviews so much better, and they're in land. Let them do that. What I want is access. Like, I want to be able to have this conversation that you and me having with a Lego designer there. Yeah. I hear you. I want that. Like, I think I can do that much better than anyone else has done that. Like, that's done it already. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, whenever they come to, for example, when they come here to a conversation, I want to talk to that person. You know what I mean? That's all I want. Like, I don't want the free crap. I don't want to do that.
And and to a certain degree, that's exactly what one of the reasons I want to be in land, because it just cuts through a lot of the red tape.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Like, I've reached out to people before. Now, to be fair, 9 times out of 10, they'll come on. I've had designers on, people like Stuart Harris, regularly come on from the Lego house. But there are ways you have to navigate that and ask the right people and all this kind of stuff. So there's a bit of red tape there. Whether or not they can't just come on.
No, they have to go through it.
There is a process. Yeah. But being a part of that and being in that, leveraging it differently to how everyone else does it is a good thing. And I think you are naturally good at doing this.
Oh, thank you.
You've kind of cut your teeth doing this.
Yes, definitely.
And that is, from a very neutral point of view, that is definitely something I would like to see, because I've seen people in land do interviews before. Yeah. And it's just not their thing.
No, it's not.
So there's parts of it that can be kind of quite uncomfortable or anything like that. But also, I think people that have got real world behind them will be able to fill those gaps so well.
Yes. Exactly what you said. Stories. That's perfect.
It's all stories.
Exactly. So that's what I really want out of it. So I definitely use Sauce as a big opportunity that they would be missing out on. Yeah. Because
well, you made a case for yourself.
Yeah, I did. Of course. Yeah. I said, look, this is your benefit. This is your benefit. Whether we actually talk about a Lego set, I don't know. I don't want to talk about a Lego set. I want to talk about the reason why you're actually building this thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to talk about why I'm making this so expensive. That's what I want to talk about. Yeah. Like, justify to me to why you want this expensive, so that way the people who listen will actually buy what you want. Versus them talking trash all day, every day, and actually put your name under the mud. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm giving them that opportunity. Now, that's pretty much what I said. This is your opportunity to say what you want to say publicly versus someone else interpreting what you want to say. So I don't know. That's the first time I mentioned it out loud. I've told people, but I haven't really told people, especially in a space like this. So we'll see where that goes, if I get rejected or not. I already know what I would say when I do. So if that happens, Cool. If I don't, you just won't know. So I hope you apply. There's been a whole negative thing about land, and at least on this in Sauce, like, you know, I harped on how bad it is to be in land, right? And not me saying that it's bad. It's just that people talk trash about being in land, and you know how it affects everybody, and it does. Like anyone who's in land right now, all the hate and the trash talking is pretty sad.
There is more hate for land now than there ever has been.
Ever before. And you know, I get it. I understand why, but these people forget that, like, you know, it hurts, and it hurts more when it's from, you know, your friends. You know. Like people who are your peers that do this for a living as well. Like that's when it really hurts. It's like, why you gotta be a dick? You know what I mean? Like, just be happy for me. That'd be cool, right? Yeah. And then, or if you really want to say your piece on land, just don't include me in it. Like, go say your piece. Hive does a great job with it. Yeah. Right? He has his people that he likes, he has his people he doesn't like, and he makes it perfectly apparent, and he has no problem saying it. And then he trashed the program as a whole. Yeah. Do that. But to be passive about it and, you know, direct it at me without saying my name, then that's a problem. I think that's what hurts them the most. Yeah. So, you know, I'm trying to, you know, say that it's here, that it's not bad to be in land. We need these people. We don't, but we do. And however you feel about it is your own opinion. That's cool. But there's no reason to be belligerent about it.
Live and let live.
Exactly. Are you benefiting from them? I don't know. Maybe. But
again, I think some of that comes as a reflection from them, personally, more than anything. And there's constructive ways of doing it, and there's very unconstructive ways of doing it.
Do you watch any of Alex Nunes or Nunes?
Yes, I do, Alex actually.
See, people say that, like, no one talks for the community or says anything that happens that, you know, on those little conversations. But Alex actually says some stuff, and it's kind of funny. But then it's sad that no one really hears him talk badly about it. And when he does his reviews, because he's like, I'm not going to pay for this. I don't know.
I like him. Firstly, I like him because he's a Trekkie. And second, he's someone, for some reason, I've just never asked to ever come on London Calling.
You should.
I'd love to. Because he does like a sort of weekly podcast.
With Jason Bricks and Fives. Breaking news.
I listen to that quite often.
Me too, I listen all the time.
And I thought, I like it when I listen to people in land that are like real genuine. I like it. Like, it's not all beds of roses and flowers and stuff like that.
But Tiago does that too, and no one gives him credit. Everyone thinks that Tiago automatically likes the set. No, sometimes he said, like, the BTS one was a perfect example of him not liking the set. Yeah. Like, he's like, yeah, the building's remedial. Like, he has no idea. He understands why it was made. It was to harp on the money made to be BTS.
Total bandwagon
totally. Yeah. And, you know, the designers, like JB knew that. That's the reason why he did it. Yeah. It's a cash grab. That's exactly what that was. And he admitted, he's like, I don't know. I know who this is for. This is not for me or a lot of people in the community. I would never have bought this set. And I think a lot of people don't see that. Like, when they see BTS review on Tiago, they automatically think he's going to say it. They listen to the first 5 seconds and they're done with it. Yeah. They didn't make it 5 more seconds later where he explained that this is not all that other stuff that you would have wanted to hear if you stuck around. And I think people automatically in the community labeling, people in land are going to say great things about it. People not in land are going to say negative things about it without fully watching each video, where you notice that the people not in land saying stuff, they're actually praising the stuff versus the people in land reviewing the stuff, not praising the stuff. It's kind of funny.
And it's not just him as well. He got like Cheesy Studios.
Oh, Cheesy is another good one.
He's brilliant. Do you know what? It's only recently that I've discovered him.
Caleb?
Yeah, like in the last sort of, I mean, literally, I 10 minutes before we came up, I was holding the chair. Yeah. So there's me. I'm holding the chair. He's holding some mic stand, and we did this really strange handshake where he's holding the mic stand, and I'm holding the mic stand, and we just kind of do that. It was really weird. But I love his stuff. That he is so thoughtful in his writing and the way he projects himself. Very. It is brilliant. And he's definitely someone I'm kind of studying the form, because I think I've got a style in which I can do that's different to everybody else's. You got to be a little bit different.
Oh, of course.
You really have
can't
to.
Look the same.
And then I sort of think, but then it's really weird, because then I bring myself back to, this is Lego. Why am I so passionate about something like this? And like you are. I mean, how many things in our lives are we this passionate about? Like, Lego is going to be in my top 5 most important things for the rest of my life.
Tattooing on your body?
I haven't, but I definitely consider it.
I need to. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Actually, I do. I'm going to put it on this calf right here. But
what are you thinking of putting on it?
A minifig, I think. Yeah. Or I'm going to brand Lego somewhere. No, not my stick fig. I'm not that much into myself. I might put the Lego logo because they can't rip that away from me. But I don't know. I'm gonna put something. It's gonna be a minifigure there of somehow. I just don't know what.
Well, I reckon
think
if
it's gonna be-
anyone's out there's got any ideas, then let us know down in the
I think
comments.
it's gonna be
what you'd like to
Emmett,
see.
but I've seen a lot of people do it. Because
Yeah.
the Lego movie has been a big impact. Like I enjoyed that movie so much,
Yeah.
you know. So I don't know. It might be.
We should do movie nights or something like that.
Sure,
you know,
I
when
guess.
people do like watching parties and stuff like
I
that.
don't know. Yeah, I guess. I don't know what I'm gonna put. I might be a veteran military Lego. I don't know. Maybe that.
Yeah.
Like it could be something like that. Kind of mixes two different communities that I'm a part of. But I don't know. We'll see. It's a lot going on. What are you trying to get out of Brickworld?
This is the first time I'm at Brickworld.
Yeah.
And you never get a second chance of the first impression.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to live it. I came in with the idea that I'm going to vlog every day. I'm certainly doing a London calling from here anyway. I'm definitely not going to be vlogging every day. Everyone I've spoken to, like yourself, they said, you're going to be, like I said, I'm going to be vlogging every day. And this sort of thing. Well, after doing the first night and doing like 4 hours putting it together, I'm thinking I'm missing out on way too much. So there's going to be little segments, bits and stuff like that and vlogs
Do
coming
one
together.
vlog of the whole weekend.
Yeah. Maybe I will, because the day one, I could probably do that, because day one was kind of like almost like a day zero.
Mhm.
It wasn't really Brickworld Chicago. It was
Yeah.
kind of
No one's here.
essence
Yeah.
of it. Now is when the meat is starting to form on the bones.
Yes.
And I just want to dive in and swim amongst it all.
Yes.
I really do.
Yes.
And be a part of it. And then come away from it and reflect and wonder how the heck am I going to get to come back in again next year. So,
That's what it is. It's the 6 months of it was the best time ever, and then
Yeah.
after that, another 6 months of I can't wait till the next one.
Yeah.
And then it just repeats itself over and over again. And although I think Brickworld is probably going to be like that for a while, I hope that it continues to other conventions as well. So that way, there's other hubs to. It's hard to get to Brickworld. Everyone can't make it, especially during Father's Day. I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
such a bad idea. But
That's-
it's a special place, and I hope you enjoy yourself like while you're here.
Yeah.
I didn't recommend doing a vlog every day.
You didn't straight away. You went, good luck with that.
Yeah, like don't do that.
And I was
But
like, okay. And I listened to you. I genuinely, you are one of the people that I don't just listen to, I empathize with as well. So I'm hanging on to what you say, because what you say to me is really good advice.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Calibrate Click, SOS. These are really good advice shows, whether you're into Lego or you're just a general content creator, to be honest. They're listening. They're almost lifestyle.
Oh,
I
thanks.
think you're
Yeah.
definitely going
Appreciate
down
that.
this road of that. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because there is more to life than just Lego. It's getting to that. It's the journey, without saying like too cliche. It is the journey.
There's so many clips that I can take from Calibrate Click and you talking, and now of you talking. I just let it play for like 30 seconds of your conversation, and it's so motivating. It's super motivating. And I'm again reflecting back to what we said in the beginning of evolving and what this community is going to be, or what this is going to be. I still don't know what sauce is yet. And you've already defined it for me without me even thinking about it. So that helps me out so much. And I can't thank you enough for that, because I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it too. And I can tell you one thing's for sure. The next time I'm ever going to be interviewed with you in whatever capacity that may be, one thing for sure, there will be a city involved. There will be 2 layers to it. There will be.
2027?
If not before.
Okay, 2027 is your deadline, man.
That's my deadline.
Because I'm going to call you out. I'm going to make a dedicated video of how you did not make a video.
I'd be up for that.
I mean, it's going to help either way.
It's
I
worth.
don't know where my channel's
It's
going
worth
to be at
just
that
hanging
time.
around, not doing
That's
it just
pretty
for
much
that.
just looking at it. Can be not just dedicated to a short. That's what you
Thanks.
get from me.
We'll make it a good 59 seconds at
59
least.
seconds at least. Or 58 seconds.
Fair enough. Yeah, because YouTube always does a thing about adding on this extra second. I don't know.
Whatever. But I think we're missing a lot of the convention. I think we should go back down.
I think we should.
We should? All right. In that case, anything you want to plug or say before we end it?
No? Legondon will become a thing one day.
Okay. That being said, thanks, Greg. Peace.
Go part for part and give a great review. You want a heart to heart, they're sitting on the stoop. We're not concerned with the views of the Lego group, cause we're the misfit bricks. This is what we do.